Hi FlossTube, I'm Jane.
And I'm Amelia.
And we're here to talk to you about our December crafting and our plans for 2021. So today is Sunday, the 27th of December. So I hope you've all had a lovely Christmas, had some time off, and had a good break. We are based in Sydney, and we had just Christmas with the four of us because Sydney's gone back into a bit of lockdown. We had a bit of a flare up of COVID, so we couldn't go anywhere for Christmas. But we are hoping to go away in a few days just up the coast of New South Wales, and have a week away on the coast, which should be nice. And we are hoping to go to Tasmania, but at this stage it's looking like we won't be able to go. But that's okay. We're all well, and that's the main thing. So anyway, we'll get into talking about what we've been working on since we last caught up. So in November of this year, we were supposed to have a Plum Street sampler retreat, and that was cancelled because of COVID. And so we just had the pattern mailed out to us that would have been our stitch retreat piece. So I'll get Amelia to hold up the pattern and you can say what that is. This came through to us in December.
This joyous season by Plum Street Samplers.
So it's a beautiful pattern. It's big red house, some trees, beautiful flowers on top, and some snow and some reindeer. Now, these flowers here, they remind me of some Australian Christmas flowers that we have. So I am wondering if I might swap out the reindeer for some kangaroos, and just make it a little bit more Australian, and instead of snow just have maybe some more flowers scattered around. But I haven't decided that yet. I'll decide that later on, because it does have the Australian flag, and then I thought it would be kind of like an Australian Christmas stitch piece, which you don't often see. So as I said, not really decided on whether or not I'll do that or just stitch it as is. But anyway, this came in at the start of December, and on the first weekend in December, we just had like a bit of a virtual catch up on Facebook, and everyone was stitching on this piece, which was quite nice. Obviously not the same as being together in person. But here is where I'm up to with this one.
You forgot the cardboard, didn't you?
Yeah, it's okay. So I've got a fair bit done. I'd say I'm about a third of the way there, I guess. So beautiful colours. The linen is 36 count. What is it? Sorry, it's a fox and rabbit linen. It's Up in the Attic by Fox and Rabbit, who are Linen and Threads, who are running this retreat. So, and then it uses all of Weeks Dye Works and a couple of DMC colours. So it won't take too long to finish, I don't think, considering I've gotten that done in about 3 weeks. The linen colour's really got a pinkish tinge. That's a pretty good true colour of what it looks like. It's a really beautiful colour fabric.
What's it supposed to say?
Oh, it's supposed to say repeat the sound, enjoy. I just haven't got...
I thought it was supposed to say repeat the koana. It doesn't look like it's finished.
No, it's not finished. So that's that one that I've been working on. Then I've continued to work on this one, which
you were in love with.
Yeah, Still am. Still my favourite cross stitch, I think, that I've ever done.
Jane Fitters.
What year?
1835.
And who's the designer?
Hands Across the Seas.
So I've been working on this pretty solidly this year, since this came out. I have not finished it yet, and I have not taken it out of the Q-snap to show you because of where I'm at. I just didn't want to take it out. So here's where I'm up to. I think last time I showed you I had to stitch this heart motif. Oops. Sorry, which I had left to last because it has some satin stitch in it. So I've completed that now. Can you just point out the leaves on that, Amelia? On the fabric. Just point to the leaves of the motif.
That?
Yeah, so that's where the satin stitch is. And that was quite tricky, I found, because it wasn't straight up and down, it was crossways. So it was a little bit tricky. And then I also had to do, on this bird, there was stem stitch in here, which I again had not done stem stitch before. So I completed that. I had to finish off the initials that are scattered throughout, and I finished all of those. And then I had to work on this grass. So there's grass here and here. This is the last bit left to do. And this is turkey work. So I've also never done that before. And yeah, it's a funny name, isn't it? So I watched Mary Corbett's tutorial on how to do that. It's actually quite easy. It was more though just, you know, thinking, gosh, when I cut this, is it really going to stay in place? And it does. It's all locked into place. So I stitched probably lengths about this long, like a good 1.5 centimeters, I guess, the loops, because I wanted enough length so that when I cut it, I could just take my time and slowly cut it down. So I have cut this, and I may cut it some more, but I want to wait until I stitch this side so that I can make sure I cut them evenly. So I've cut it as much as I'm willing to at this point in time, and then I will trim it up. I definitely want to cut it a little bit shorter than what I've currently got it, and it's a little bit uneven, but I wanted to wait until I do the other side so that they're both evenly stitched. So one of my hopes for 2020 was to try lots of new stitches, and this sampler certainly gave me that, because it had eyelet stitches, the 4-sided stitch, plait stitch, stem stitch, the turkey work. Did it have anything else? Oh, and satin stitch. So 6 new stitches for me to try. So I certainly have achieved that goal for 2020 just by simply stitching this sampler alone. So it's been fun trying some new things, and you know, interestingly, you know, I was really nervous about most of them and found, you know, there's not any of them that I hated. And, you know, I hear a lot of people say they don't like the eyelet stitch, or mostly I hear about that one. So when I did it, I was like, oh, that's actually quite okay, quite fun. I guess it takes a bit longer than a regular cross stitch, but, you know, it gives a different effect, and it's been fun trying new things. So I will get this finished before the end of the year, which is my goal, and that will make 11 finishes for this year, which is also pretty good, I think. So I might just leave that over here. And then on Christmas Day, I allowed myself a new start, and this is the one I decided to start. Oh, Amelia helped me pick which one to
You're
start.
using my math folder, thank you.
So what's this one called?
What is it called? All creatures great and small.
And it's by?
Barbara Ann Designs.
I've had this one for about 3 years. Fully kitted up, ready to go. And when I got it out on Christmas Day, and I had it calls for, I think, vintage country mocha. And when I got that fabric out ready to get going, my husband said, "Why are you stitching on that? It's meant to be on blue." I said, "What do you mean it's on blue? This isn't blue." And I think it's just the printout. Maybe it's got a bit of a bluish tinge to it. And because I'd asked everyone, Ethan, Amelia and Matt, to help me choose between 2 patterns, which one to stitch. And Amelia and Matt both picked this one. And he said the reason he picked it was because he thought it was going to be stitched on blue. Anyway, I did have some blue fabric, so I got it out and I had a look at the colours on the fabric, and I thought, oh, actually that doesn't look too bad. So I decided to take his advice, and I am stitching it on blue, and this is how much I have gotten done.
What about my advice?
What was your advice?
Use the blue.
Amelia agreed that I should use the blue also. So here's where I'm up to. So I started this Christmas Day 2 days ago. It's really fun to stitch on, and I have no idea what this fabric is. It's a 36 count, and I had got this at a retreat, but it wasn't labelled, so I really don't know what the colour is. It's a Zweigart fabric, and it's blue. That's all I know, with lots of mottling, as you can see. So I think it's going to look really cool. The colours look great on it. It's an easy stitch. I mean, there's a bit of colour change going on, but I like that anyway because it keeps me interested. I like swapping around and doing different things, so there's lots of little motifs. So it's definitely going to keep me interested. So that was my new start. So just to show you where I'm stitching up here. I started in this top corner. It's a big pattern. It is 317 by 248 stitches, so it's pretty big. But I think it'll go pretty quick because it's interesting doing all the different motifs. And what I was going to say is what I'm finding is I guess I've stitched a couple of samplers this year, not a lot, but a couple, and I've certainly got a heap more to do. So when I was picking, well, what am I going to stitch for my Christmas Day start, I actually wanted one that didn't really have the traditional letters and then the motifs. So I was really, wanting to more just focus on something with motifs. So the 2 that I had picked to choose from did not have a lot of letters. But anyway, that's the one that won the New Year's start. So Christmas start. I'll hand over to Amelia and she can talk about what she's been working on. Yeah, we'll talk about that later because that's plans. So I think in your basket is what you've worked on.
Yes. Which one? This
Yeah. In there you've got. Well, you can talk about the basket first.
Okay. So for Christmas, I got this.
And turn it around.
Which is a house on the other side, but you open it from this side.
Who was it from?
I forgot.
Auntie Heather.
Okay, she better not be watching.
She'll be watching.
Oh no.
You better say sorry.
Sorry. And yeah, I can open it. And
so what have you got in there? What are you keeping in here?
This.
All her little cross stitch patterns.
This one, I think that's upside down.
Yes.
That one. That.
Fabric that we showed you last month.
Whatever that is, yeah.
The owl that we showed you last month.
Cutters.
Scissors. And what did you make this month?
Well, I made it at, can you hold that?
Sure.
I made it at school.
So a little Christmas stocking. That's really cute.
And, well, we had to sew it.
Hold it up. Talk about it.
So,
What's your favourite part of it?
No-eyed reindeer. With no mouth.
Well, we can add that if you want. That's really cute. I love it. So that's what you've been working on. And so my sister has lined all of this. It's really pretty.
Oh, she made that bit?
Yeah.
Or did she buy it?
No, she made this bit, I'm pretty sure. Because I knew you were getting this. I think this is so cute. So that was a pretty good Christmas present. And that's some nice stitching you've been doing. Careful with your scissors when you put them in. Keep them closed so they don't cut anything. Yep. Good job. Okay, and what else have you got to show us? Yeah, I'll do that. You get the next things ready. So she got a couple of Christmas crafty presents. Yep, this one.
So I've already started making a unicorn, but then I got another one which has more detail to it. And I also got this for Christmas. Who gave me this?
I think it was from Nellie's friend, Marianne.
Yes, it was.
Okay. So she's been making a blue unicorn, so now she'll have this one to make, but we'll finish the blue one first before we start.
I don't remember what it looks like.
Okay, and your last present that you got? Yep. Quick.
I got a rug thing where you weave a rug with these things.
So these all make a big circle, and then there's, I don't know, about 8 of those that clip together, and then she's got all this wool and she weaves a rug, which will be quite nice.
It'll take a while.
Yeah, it might take a while, but some nice colours in there, and you might be able to use it in the playroom or somewhere.
Yes, or even I can put the rug on my other rug in my bedroom.
Yeah, and your bedroom might be nice. So I haven't made any purchases this month, which is probably a good thing because I'd made so many last month. But I did get some money and for Christmas, and I also got a voucher to the Cruel Goblin. So I'm looking forward to obviously going there and going shopping. But they're not open they're shut down for the next couple of weeks. So I'll wait until later in January and go and spend that. But I know I've got some patterns that I need some fabric for and some patterns that I need some thread for. So that's probably what I'll spend that money on. There's also 2 or 3 patterns that maybe I'll buy. We'll see. So then my plans for 2021. So talk you through those. I have 7 whips on the go, which I always talk about, you know, I don't like having a lot of whips, blah, 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 but then I keep starting new things. So, I don't know. What do you do?
I don't know. Don't ask me.
Yeah.
Ask them.
So, what I've decided for 2021 is there's some whips in here that I really need to get finished, and they were on my to-do list this year, and I did work on them, but I certainly didn't finish them. So this is one of them. This is one of the whips that doesn't get worked on very often, and I've shown this in my last video. It's the Santa tablecloth, and I said that I really wanted to get this finished for Christmas this year, and I didn't. In fact, I haven't worked on this at all since the last video. So,
Naughty.
Yes, naughty. I have another side. So this side, I've just got to finish Santa's face and then do his back stitch, and then this side here has to be done. So that's all that's left to do. It's not a lot. It'll probably take 2 weeks to do. But I've just kind of got to force myself to do it. So what I've decided for 2021 is that on Mondays, I'm going to work on projects like this that I don't really like working on, so I just don't work on it. So I figured, I know what I'm like, and I know I'm pretty good on Mondays. I'm pretty good at getting stuff done on Mondays. So I thought if I set Mondays aside to work on projects like this, that
We'll get it out of the way.
yeah, then I'll get them done, hopefully. So that's one of them. There's 3 that are like this that I'm going to focus on a Monday. This is another one. I'm going to hold up the picture. This one is a Mirabilia.
Oh yeah, you have not stitched on that for like a while.
No, I stitched on this a tiny little bit in 2020, but not very much at all. And so this is going to move into the Monday rotation as well. You know, I've done so much of it, and it's really beautiful.
It looks so small on this.
Yeah, well, it's a pretty small picture, isn't it? I think this is about a 28 count fabric, and I'm stitching it with 2 threads, so maybe that's why I don't stitch on it so much, because I do enjoy just stitching on 1 thread now. Stitching with 1 thread over 2 on a smaller fabric. But, you know, I'm so close. I've really just got to do like her face and I guess her arms, and then a little bit down here where her foot would come out down here, and then it's all the metallic thread throughout her dress and the beading. And there's some metallic thread up here.
Is this based off Cinderella?
Yeah, it's got a border around it, which I just don't like, so I'm not going to do the border.
It already has a border.
Yeah, this is how old it is, Amelia, because this was when I used to put masking tape on my fabric.
Why did you do that?
Oh, lots of stitches did that. Like this is my oldest whip. I really need to get it finished. And
So can you not take off the tape?
no, but I mean, I've got a good enough border. I can just cut it off when it comes time to framing.
True.
So this will be another one that goes into my Monday stitching rotation.
Routine? Or rotation?
Rotation. So there's that one. So that I can get some of these older ones finished.
Didn't you start that like 3 years ago?
Started it a long time ago. I have no idea when I started it. Years and years ago. And this one, which I have worked on this year. In fact, I started it this year.
Oh, that one?
Yeah.
Yuletide Shanty. I thought you liked this one.
I do like this one. I haven't done anything on it since I last showed you, so this is where I'm at. And I think I was saying that when I first started it, and I was stitching the whale over, it's stitched on 36 count natural linen, I think it is, and the white wasn't showing up, so I had to go back over the top. It's 1 thread over 2, so I went back over the top leg a second time, and that's made him stand out much better. So I think that's why I had put this one to the side, but he certainly stands out now, having gone back over him. He's much brighter. So this will also become a Monday stitch rotation, just so I can get this one done. So that's 3 whips that are going to be my Monday whips. Oh, could you put that one in there? So they're my Monday whips. Then my other 4 whips that I have are one that I'm not going to work on. Well, I'm not planning to work on for 2021, and that's the Plum Street Sampler Animal Stacks, which I'm doing in a long row. I'm not planning on working on that for 2021. So yes, it's a whip, but I'm not planning on doing it.
Why?
I just don't think I'll get to it, because I do want to do some new starts, and I know that's one that I like and that I'll enjoy doing, so I think I'll just leave that for another year. This one I will work on, which is, do you want to hold that up and say what it is?
What is it anyways? Oh, Joyous Day.
By Blackbird Designs. So that's this one. So maybe halfway on this one. I like working on this one. So the ones that I like, so the ones I'm talking about now are the ones that I really like working on. So Mondays I'm going to stitch on one of those 3. And then for the rest of the week, I'll pick a chart that I'll just focus on for the rest of the week. So I might spend the week working on this one, for example. Or All Creatures Great and Small, which I've just shown you, or the latest Plum Street Retreat piece, which I showed earlier. So the plums, yeah, so I've got Oh Joyous Day, this Plum Street one, which I showed earlier. Oh Joyous Day, that Plum Street one, what am I doing? Oh, and All Creatures Great and Small. So they're the other 3 that I'll work on a week at a time and just rotate through them as I feel like. I haven't got any order to how I'm going to do this. I'm just going to chip away at those 3 that I really do like. Then I am planning a New Year's Day start. Yes, that's on there. So Amelia, if you can open that up and bring up the pattern.
So I have to open up the iPad.
So I had my Christmas Day start and now I've got my New Year's Day start. And my New Year's Day start is the other one that didn't get voted on for the Christmas Day start. So it's become the New Year's Day start.
Do you want me to zoom in on it?
Just hold it up like that and then you might be able to zoom in on it. Maybe turn it on its side and zoom in. Oh, that's good. Yeah, like that.
Oh, it's so bright.
That's okay. Just angle it like that, see? And this is...
Jane Hardy.
Yeah, it's a, another Hands Across the Sea pattern. So this is going to be my New Year's start. And I'm stitching it in DMC. And I am planning to stitch it on 36 count Legacy Linen by...
What's it called?
Picture This Plus. What's what called?
I was just going to go back on it and see what it was.
It's called Jane Hardy.
No. The other one you were saying, the designer, I think it was.
Hands Across the Sea.
No, the other thing you just said.
I don't know.
Plus stuff.
Oh, Picture This Plus is the fabric that I'm going to use. Picture This Plus Legacy, which I think I've mentioned several times, is my favourite fabric. But this is a 36 count. So I haven't stitched with Picture This Plus 36 count before. So that is going to be my New Year's start. And then obviously that will mean I have 8 whips, of which I'm going to be actively working on 7 of them. And of course I have a list a mile long of other ones that I want to start in 2021. But I am not going to go through those because I know I will change my mind as the year goes on, and I just want to stitch whatever I feel like stitching. And of course I'll no doubt be buying new patterns and things like that, so then they'll probably capture my attention. But if I could get you know, a good amount of those whips done, I'll be happy. At the start of 2020 I had 9 whips, and of those 9 I've completed 5, and one of them I've decided I'm not going to continue with. I will stitch it, I was stitching it on Ada with 2 threads. I actually want to move it to a linen and just use 1 thread. So yeah, I'm not calling it a whip anymore because I'm going to have to restart that. So I think that's pretty good. I got through a good amount this year. So hopefully 2021 is just as good. I normally like to complete 12 projects in a year if I can. And if and when, I know I will, I'll get this finished before the 31st of January. So that'll make 11 cross stitches, and I did do that rabbit, I did make that rabbit that I showed in one of my earlier videos. So Luna, remember Luna Lappin that I made for you?
Yes.
So I'm I guess, you know, if I add that in, that's 12 craft projects that I finished this year. So hopefully I can complete another 12 next year, and looking forward to it. So that's it. I don't think we have anything else to add, do we?
No.
No?
Stop touching it.
Hope you're all well. Hope you have a great new year, and we'll see you again in January.
Can
Bye.
I turn it off?
Yes.
Bye.